I said this one sentence just once, only once, and it completely changed the course of my life. Hi, I'm Alex, and today I want to share a story that still blows my mind every time I think about it. It is 100% real. It happened to me. It all started with one simple sentence, more like an affirmation, that ended up sparking one of the biggest manifestations in my life. It is the reason I decided to start sharing my manifesting journey with you all. What I've learned is that manifesting doesn't always happen the way you expect. It can come in all shapes and forms, and sometimes it's immediate, while other times it takes longer to unfold. But trust me, the power behind your words and intentions is real. I can't wait to show you how it all came together. Let me take you back to when I was 20 years old. It feels like it was just yesterday. You know what they say, time flies when you're having fun. Anyway, I had just started my career as a teacher, working in private schools with young children. I loved teaching young kids, but there was one thing that really frustrated me. The materials we had to teach young children just weren't what they needed to truly learn and engage in their lessons. I kept thinking, there's got to be a better way for kids to learn, especially the little ones. And so, one day, I'm having a casual conversation with a fellow teacher. I'm telling her how frustrated I am with the lack of good resources for children. And then, without really thinking, I just blurted out, I will write children's books that will actually help them learn. Now, the look she gave me. Oh boy. You know when someone looks at you like you've just grown a second head? Yeah, that was her face. She stared at me as if I'd lost my mind. But here's the thing. I believed it. I didn't know how or when, but I knew that someday I was going to do it. Fast forward a few years, and I'm now 25, working at another school, teaching children, of course. By this time, the idea of writing books for children had sort of faded into the back of my mind. Life gets busy, right? At that time, I was more worried about my weekend plans, friends, and boyfriend than anything else. Then, something crazy happened. One day at school, out of the blue, a teacher I had never even seen before approached me. Who is she? I thought to myself. She tells me about a publisher looking for authors to write children's books, and she thought I'd be a perfect fit. Can you believe that? I had never even seen her before, and here she was offering me an opportunity on a silver platter. Is that a coincidence? I mean, really, can that even happen? By the way, every time I tell this story to my 18-year-old son, he thinks it's just a fluke, a coincidence. He says it's all in my head. How about you? What do you think? Anyway, let's get back to the story. I gave her my contact information, but I never thought too much about it. I was young, inexperienced, and my writing wasn't that great. The editor finally reached out and told me they were considering several authors for this project and asked if I could submit a sample. Once again, I didn't get too excited. I was more worried about my lack of writing skills. Did I mention this before? And I wasn't the only one in the running. There were 10 authors they were considering. So, I poured my heart and soul into that sample. I mean, I really gave it everything I had. I submitted it and waited, fingers crossed, heart pounding. And then the call came. They picked me. Out of 10 authors, they chose me. I was 26 at the time, and I was actually going to write a book. A year later, at the age of 27, I finished writing my first book. It was such a surreal moment. The affirmation I had made at 20, just once, mind you, had come to life. And of course I had to laugh at myself. If I'd known that one little sentence was going to bring me a book deal, I would have wished for something extra. Like, I don't know, maybe a house on the beach or becoming a millionaire. But here's where things really get interesting. That first book was just the beginning. I didn't stop at one book or two or even three. I ended up writing more than a dozen children's books. One book led to another, and before I knew it, I was deep into this world of creating materials and content for kids. And it didn't stop there either. After that, I started getting invitations to speak at events, some big, some small. But it was all so exciting. Me, standing in front of crowds and talking about these books, it felt like a whirlwind. I was living this life I had only briefly dreamed about, and all because I spoke that one sentence with conviction. And here's the final twist. My journey didn't stop with writing and speaking. One day, the same publishing company approached me with an offer to become an editor for children's books. They wanted me to help shape and guide the development of new books for kids. Can you believe it? From saying, "I will write children's books," to becoming an editor in the field. I couldn't have imagined a better outcome if I tried. For over 27 years, I've been working as an editor, creating content for children. It's been the most rewarding journey, and it all started with that one moment of belief. And by the way, yes, my writing skills improved 100%. Now, if you're wondering how all of this happened, let me tell you, it's the power of words. When I said I would write children's books, I didn't know how it would happen or when, but I trusted that it would. Manifesting isn't about obsessing over something every day. Sometimes, it's as simple as declaring it and letting it go, trusting that the universe will align things in your favor. So, if there's anything you take away from this story, let it be this. Speak your desires out loud, even if it's just once. Trust the process, and don't be afraid to dream big. You never know how or when the universe will answer, but if you speak with conviction, it will. And who knows? Maybe your next big manifestation is just one sentence away. If you've had an experience like this, I'd love to hear your story. Drop it in the comments below, and let's inspire each other to keep creating the lives we dream of. And remember, I'll be sharing more insights about the manifesting process in an upcoming video, so make sure you don't miss that. But for now, just know that your words have power, and the universe is always listening, even if you only say it once.